Hi, my lovely yogis. This is Larissa and Yoga Life Balance with Larissa with you today. We will be practicing splits preparation, flexing up our hips and hip flexors. Remember that splits are not for everyone. Not everyone, I believe, it's my own opinion, is capable and should have been doing splits. But we can do stretches. It doesn't have to be splits. I will show you how we are going to deal with this today. And we will start from stretching with your left leg and right knee down. Always make sure you have a really nice support under your knee. I will be using a pillow under my right knee and left leg step forward and you're sinking down. Stretch your hands, open your shoulder blades in the back, clasp your hands at the back and start sinking through your hips. You can use blocks. You can place blocks on both sides of your leg and simply just pushing up, down. And if you feel it's brilliant, it's enough, great. Now you start stretching up, moving forward, and back. Keep your stomach on your thigh, push your hip back, and move forward. And you can carry on stretching for as long as you feel like. Place hands outside of your left leg on the right side. You're trying to move hands forward. You may want to use a block and place elbows on the block. Maybe you need to move block a little bit higher and place elbows on your block. Next stage, if you want to go ahead, you place hand on your knee and start pushing it, opening up and opening your hip flexors. Be very, very careful how much you can take of this. I can't place elbows down on the floor and I'm trying to push my right leg back. At the same time, I'm stretching my left leg forward and moving it from side to side. Eventually, one day, your leg may go down on the floor. You may need to walk from side to side and eventually sit into splits. If it's too early morning, if you're too cold, never do this. You can really make a big damage for yourself. Before moving to another side, we are going to do a frog. You sit on the mat, everything 90 degrees. Soles of your feet, your shins and your thighs. Make sure it's comfortable for you. Elbows placed down on the floor. And there's only one little move you do, you push your hips back. As soon as you push your hips back a little bit, you should feel a deep stretch in your groin areas. Look forward, inhale, exhale, and you push back. Move forward, exhale, and push back. Move forward and push back. Wonderful. And carry on pushing it back. Everything should be comfortable, pleasantly painful, challenging, but very, very comfortable. Never do anything which is not comfortable for you. Bring your knees together. Sit on your heels. If this is too much, never do this. Simply try to sit in your cross-leg sitting position. If you walk on your hip flexors and you cannot even do this, start from sitting on the block and slightly place your hands down on your knees and try to sit on your knees. Your knees can be very high, so it means you are very rigid through your hip flexors, which is fine. This is life. We are trying to do our split and split preparation on the other side. I'm using the pillow, placing under my left knee. Never ever damage yourself. Right leg forward and you slowly start sinking down. Let's walk on our shoulders as well. Hands up and stretch. Bend your elbows. You can clasp your hands if you wish. Rotating shoulder blades from side to side. We're concentrating on releasing your hips. Inhaling, you're moving up. Exhaling, you're pushing yourself a little bit down, relaxing. Inhale up. Push down and relaxing. Inhale up and exhale, relaxing. Both hands placed on the left side of your right leg. You may need to have a block, 2 blocks. You can place it maybe high. You may need to use 2 blocks. You push yourself forward and then you stretch yourself back. Push yourself forward, stretch back. And one more time. Brilliant. You can move hands on the left side of the mat and start moving hands forward, maybe placing elbows down on the floor. If you can, you place right hand on your right knee and you're opening your right hip to the right side. Or simply moving from side to side works really well. If you're ready for a further step, let's try to do this. I'm start stretching my right leg to the right side and still moving hips from side to side. And if you're ready, if you want to go for a full split, you can. You use blocks or your hands, and eventually you sit in the split. Two sides are always different. One is easier, another is not so easy. And start unraveling, bend your knee. One of the best asanas to stretch your hips is called a triangle. When your left ankle placed parallel to the front of the mat and right on the top. If it's too much, sit in your cross-leg sitting position. To release my hips even more, I push this down on the floor and I rotate my hips from side to side. Try to sit comfortably. For some people, it's super easy. For some of you, it's a killer. Grab hands on the back, squeeze shoulder blades on the back, start leaning forward, move head down. The more you moving down, the deeper stretch is. Slowly bring yourself up. Let's stretch our hands, open our legs wide. You can sit on the block, or you can just place hands on your hips and try to roll hips forward slightly. This motion is happening. Hands can be placed on your ankles, on your toes, on the floor. One day, chest is trying to be placed down on the floor, but not today. Be careful. Do it stage by stage, step by step. Very slow movements. This is what we need. No damage. Right ankle placed in front of the mat and left on the top. And never assume two sides are the same. They are never the same. So rotate hips from side to side by pushing hands into the floor and moving, releasing my muscles in my hips. Stretch your hands. Place hands in front of you and start crawling forward on your hands or elbows and moving your head down, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly start bringing yourself up. Stretching through your hands. Open your legs wide again. One more time. Hands stretched. You can clasp your hands this time behind your back. Rotating shoulders from side to side. And slowly start leaning forward. Remember, inhaling, exhaling, then you go down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Hands on your ankles. Hands down on the floor. Place your hands under your knees and bring yourself in front of the mat. Try to sit into the most comfortable cross-leg sitting position. Thank you very much for watching. Well done.